Welcome to McNulty's Book Corral. Today's vintage paperback pick is Alfred Hitchcock's Happiness is a Warm Corpse. Now, this is one of many paperbacks like this that Alfred Hitchcock put out under his name. He was a brand name by the 60s, and these are all over the place. I just grabbed one to give you the flavor of it. I may do an episode about the entire series. These are all over the place. I have all of the paperback collections of short stories that Alfred Hitchcock authorized to be released under his name. And, of course, he was involved in the Three Investigators series, which I'm going to cover in a separate episode. These are fun books to read. We have stories in here by Jonathan Craig, Robert Colby, Robert Edmund Alter, John Cortez, Fletcher Flora, Diane Fraser, Hal Elson. Remember that name. That comes up a lot. And so forth and so on. Richard Deming, all personally selected by Alfred Hitchcock, it says on the back. Actually, these stories were personally selected by Robert Arthur, who himself was a wonderful writer, and I'm going to discuss a couple of his books in a later episode as well. Robert Arthur was an author who wrote thrillers and so forth, and he worked exclusively with Hitchcock on putting these together. I think he even probably wrote the introductions and so forth under Hitchcock's name. These books were always bestsellers. 60 cents for this paperback. Happiness is a Warm Corpse. And they always had fun covers. I have hardcover and I have paperbacks, stories for late at night. Many of you that collect vintage paperbacks no doubt are familiar with the Alfred Hitchcock brand from the 60s. Fun stuff to have. And what's interesting about these is that you do find some interesting, hard-to-find short stories in these collections that you don't really find reprinted anywhere else. So for that reason alone, if you're interested in stuff from the 40s and 50s, a lot of those stories got reprinted in Alfred Hitchcock's paperback and hardcover anthologies. Robert Arthur knew what he was doing. Great material. So this is my vintage paperback pick, the Master's Choice. Alfred Hitchcock's Happiness is a Warm Corpse.